This is BBC World News. I'm Matthew Amroliwala. On today's Global, a damning initial report is published after the investigation into lockdown parties at Downing Street. The investigation by a senior civil servant concludes failures of leadership and judgment by different parts of Number 10 and the Cabinet Office.
Will you take responsibility, Prime Minister? Has your leadership failed?
Sue Gray says some of the events should not have been allowed to take place and some of the behaviour is difficult to justify when the government was asking citizens to accept far-reaching restrictions on their lives.
I want to say sorry. And I'm sorry for the things we simply didn't get right. I get it and I will fix it.
Prime Minister, the British public aren't fools. They never believed a word of it. They think the Prime Minister should do the decent thing and resign.
The report also reveals that 12 of the 16 gatherings are now being investigated by the police. We'll have the latest on the row which could shape the future of British politics. Also on the programme, the UN Security Council meets to discuss Ukraine as the US calls for Russian forces to pull back and Moscow denies being involved in what it says is a domestic crisis.
And I'm Lise Doucette in Kiev, where the mayor of this city tells us Ukraine welcomes NATO support, but needs more.
Good night.
Hello and welcome to today's Global. Let's start here in the UK, where the initial findings of a report into parties held during COVID lockdowns at Downing Street have highlighted a failure of leadership at the top of government. The report by the senior civil servant Sue Gray was severely constrained by a police inquiry into many of the events. London's Metropolitan Police now say their investigations have received more than 300 photographs. Well, in Parliament, Boris Johnson offered an apology, saying he understood members' anger. He said he accepted the report's findings that the government must learn from events.